What do girls really think? My first guest is not shy about telling people what she really thinks. I have Tryneal Addison, a 17-year-old girl, in the studio with me. Tryneal, thank you so much for coming tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Now, you are the host, co-producer, and co-developer of an online TV show called What Girls Think.
Correct, I am.
How did you get started doing that?
Well, I think basically I was 14 years old when I started. I wrote my proposal up and I typed it up and I tried to send it to everybody, Ellen, any production company, not knowing that they could steal my idea and do it.
Ooh.
But, you know, I was naive. I was 14.
Right.
And then eventually I was scrolling on the internet and I found a company called First Run TV where my show is broadcasted, and the guy is an ex-Disney producer. Okay. And I submitted my idea, and from the jump, we just, boom, things happened.
And it's a weekly show?
Yes, it comes out every week on Monday. So today is
okay.
the new episode.
So do you have a studio you go to, or do you do it in your house?
No, we do this. All of us girls on the show, we actually film in our own homes, in our own rooms, you know, just with cameras sitting in front of us, and you use Bluetooth to do it, and we just do the show.
Technology these days, right?
Yes.
Gosh, all you kids have so much. You're so much more advanced than I am.
Same thing.
So what are some of the topics that you guys talk about? Obviously, what girls think.
Of course, definitely what girls think. Bullying. We talk about prom. On some of the episodes that are there, we talk about overweight teens and health issues. We talk about boys and, you know, how, you know, what we need to do to attract a boy. We talk about music. We basically talk about the same things adults talk about, but we just, you know, talk about it in a teen perspective. Right. So that's basically what we do.
So what when you talk about boys, because I have a teenager. So when you talk about boys, and I do have a teenage boy,
yeah.
How to attract a boy? How far are you trying to attract him? I mean, what is sex like for teenagers? What are the topics that you guys discuss? Do you talk about sex? Because it's something that needs to be talked about at your age.
We definitely will talk about sex. We haven't so far in any of our episodes. That is something that we would have to talk to the people around us, our business people, and how they felt about it before we just go, you know, so I have a team. But we have talked about, you know, how to attract a guy. And for me, I just say basically be yourself, you know. I like to dress up and stuff, so I would want a guy that is attracted to that, you know, and guys are attracted to different things. So basically, we just, you know, show our perspective of what we like and stuff like that.
How many girls are there?
There are 6 of us. There was originally 5, and then we have Lauren from Los Angeles, and she comes on sometimes, you know, when we need her.
So are you all, you're not all local then?
No, we are all over the country.
Okay. So you're here. You're
I'm in Minnesota, St. Paul, Minnesota. Then we have Sasha, and she's in Miami, Florida. Then we have Cassidy, she's in Houston, Texas. Lauren Furr, she's in Los Angeles. And then we have Abby Emmons in Ohio. And then we have Tweety Alitu in Philadelphia. So
wow, so you guys do cover the entire...
Yes, we do.
the lower 48.
Yep.
So in your bio and on your show, you talk about how your mom is your role model. How is that?
My mom is definitely my role model. Since the day I was born, she's been a business owner. She's somebody that is very independent and wants to have her own. And I always wanted to be, you know, like a Disney star or something like that. But I said, you know, they're not going to really give me that opportunity. It's so hard to get there. So I told myself I was going to give myself that opportunity. So I created my own show. So give myself a voice. So my mom is my role model because she taught me how to go for the things I want out of life without expecting people to give it to me.
Which is very good, because there are a lot of entitled teens these days who think that the world should just be handed to them on a silver platter.
There you go.
And it doesn't work that way. You have to go get it. That's fantastic.
Thank you.
How do you guys come up with your show topics? Do the 6 of you girls have to like collaborate, or?
Definitely. Sometimes we actually, you know, go out and we do our own topics, like we research and stuff like that on our own time, and then we usually bring it back to the table. We do a conference call, we all talk about, you know, and then we basically decide which 2 that we want to talk about on, you know, the next 4 episodes, so the next 4 topics. It's kind of how we do things.
How do you find your guests? How is there... just based on your topics, you Google somebody to see if they're related to that topic? Or?
No, not at all. Basically, on our website, we have a column where it says, you know, be a show guest, and you just go there, you sign up. If you're under 18, then you have your parents sign up for you, of course. But if you're not, sign up, and, you know, we also have a tab that says suggest a topic. If you want to suggest one without being on the show, you can do that too.
So how, where, okay, say My son wants to be a guest on your show, even though it's What Girls Think.
Right.
Does he come to your house?
No, he actually doesn't have to come to our house.
Skype?
He can, use Skype. He uses his own webcam, and my producer, somehow, I still don't know how he just puts us all together. It makes it this amazing show, but
that's what
he'll just use that video and he'll put it on, and we will accept guys to be guests on the show as well.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Okay. And the other girls are discussing this topic with you at the same time, right?
Yes, we are all discussing it together. We come with a topic. I start off the conversation, of course, and then, I ask each one of them their opinions on it, and they give it to me.
And you go from there.
Yep.
So what goals are you working towards?
Oh, I would definitely love to have my own talk show, like, one in a studio.
Absolutely.
Of that sort, in my future. Right now, I have a few movie roles that I'm sitting on to see if I can grab those. And so I've got a few projects. I'm a spokesperson for a new company now called Golden Runway. And that's basically it, just going to school and, being a good student.
Yeah.
Living life.
You have a full plate for being all of 17 years old.
Definitely. Very much so. A lot of stuff. My mom asks me if I can juggle it all sometimes, but.
And she juggles you.
Yeah.
Do you have siblings that she has to juggle too?
No, actually, my brother and sister. My brother's a police officer for St. Paul. He's 31. My sister's 30, hairstylist, so they just got their own lives.
Okay.
I'm the baby.
So what's the best advice that you've ever been given by a guest?
Well, so far, the guest that we've only had is Lauren so far. Okay. And, we really didn't give each other advice at the time. So I really couldn't answer that question because we haven't really gotten that far where we get advice from people. If you say my mom or someone.
What's the best advice your mom has ever
Best
given
advice my mom definitely gave me is to always love myself and to cherish myself and treat myself like a queen, because you always have to know your worth. And above all, above dreams, everything, just love yourself. So that's the best advice my mom's ever given me.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And it's so hard for girls who are young to actually understand how to do that. But you can't make anyone else happy unless you make yourself happy first.
Exactly.
Where's your mom?
Everyone asks that.
Mom. So how can girls watch What Girls Think or learn more about the show?
The girls or guys, you guys can watch at www.whatgirlsthink.tv, and in the right area of the website, you can just click there. It says watch episodes, or if you want to make it easier on yourself, you can go to www.firstrun.tv and go to channel 7, and What Girls Think is on the talk area.
And so it airs online all across the country.
All across the country, the world. There's people from England and Africa watching. It was the craziest thing when I got fan mail and they said,
"Really?"
We're watching, and I'm like, oh my God, that's crazy.
Do they email you through your website?
They always email me all the time. We love you and we love your show. It makes my heart like
that's fantastic.
It's great.
Makes you feel warm.
Warm inside. It's nice. It's nice.
So what are, in addition to everything else you have on your plate, what are your plans? You'll be done with school this year, right?
I will be done with school this year, my last year. Thank God. But my last year of high school. So after that, I wanted to go into college for broadcast journalism, of course. I love the news.
Be an easy transition.
Definitely. I love entertainment news, so I definitely would want to go into that. But I'm not sure now if I'd have the time to go to college right away.
Right.
But if things take off with my career now, then, I'll, of course, continue on my journey. If not, then, of course, college is my option, broadcast journalism.
Sometimes you have to say when the money presents itself, you can always go to college later.
Right.
College is not going anywhere.
Nowhere. You can go at 90.
Always, right. It's always a good option. So if you weren't doing this, what would you, is this your dream?
This definitely has been my dream. I would say when I was younger, I wanted to act, and I'm definitely going to still fulfill that dream. I think talk is the thing that opened the door up for me because I know how to talk. But definitely always wanted to be a talk show host, an actress in the entertainment industry, period. That was always my dream, no matter what it was.
So you can't think of anything else that you'd be doing if you weren't doing this?
What would I be doing? Oh, I want to be a psychologist. So if I wasn't, in the entertainment industry, I would want to work with people's minds and to help them with their lives.
You can do that as a talk show
host. Oprah. Look, so it all works.
It all get into people's brains.
There you go. That's why I want my own talk show to help. So.
And do you have a goal set for when you want that to accomplish that by?
To give myself my own talk show, I'd say I'm going to.
You're going to
accomplish that in the next 5 years. I want that in the next 5 years. Before I'm 25, I want my own talk show, and that's my goal.
There you go. Be it online or in the studio.
I want it in the studio, on the television, and I have enough
With the
contacts to
remote
get it
control.
there. So
There
you
you
know,
go.
I think it'll happen.
And you said you're sitting on a couple movie roles.
Couple movie roles. There's a movie called The Speech out in Los Angeles. I'm working with the director, and he wants me for the main role, and the role is the young version of Oprah.
Oh,
so it's
fun.
perfect for me, of course, before I even, read the script or
Right.
anything. I'm like, the role is mine, and he's like, this is your role. And he still has people audition for it, but he always
Sure.
tells me, this is your role,
Sure.
So I'm working
When
on
are they
getting
making the
that.
decision on that?
They're making the decision on October 3rd. So when that
so
is
you'll
coming,
let us know.
definitely.
And then as soon as the movie wraps, we'll be expecting an interview.
Okay, definitely.
So you'll be back here. I won't roll out the red carpet though.
That's okay. I've never actually been on a red carpet yet. I'm just now going to go on one on the 23rd of this month in Los Angeles for a movie, a magazine that I'm going to be in called The Business Magazine, a brand new magazine. So first red carpet ever. I'm excited.
Busy 17-year-old.
Yes.
Tryneal Addison, thank you so much for coming to Girl Talk.
Thank you for having
I'm
me.
so happy you were here. And if you would like to see more, check her out on her website. And stay tuned for me traveling up to the Paint Pub in Maple Grove. See what you can do next. I recently took a trip to Maple Grove and learned how to do this. Come follow me and see how you can do it too.
The Paint Pub is an art studio cafe where you can come in and take a 2 to 2.5 hour painting class. We walk you step by step through painting the featured painting of the night, all while you have a glass of wine or a bottle of beer.
As you notice, this painting is an upright painting. Tonight's painting is the wine on a shelf. It started out as a landscape that I started, and I didn't like it. I wasn't satisfied with it. Just like a lot of people who are learning how to paint, they're not sure of what they're interested in. So I turned it the other way, added a shelf, put some wine bottles and some glasses on it, and now it's a work of art. I like to frame it in paint, so I go around the edges and I paint all of this that color.
Every night we have a different painting. So if you go on our website, you will see what painting we're painting for that class. We also get a lot of requests from our customers requesting paintings that we have to be put on calendars for additional months, or also for us to develop paintings specifically for them. Our business is all about fun, so having the liquor license is very key to our success, because people want to have an environment where they can relax, enjoy themselves, and sometimes those type A people have a little bit of a hard time adjusting to the art environment, so having a drink in front of them sometimes just takes that edge off. We all want to be creative, and we all think, oh wow, I could never paint that. And it's amazing what you can do when somebody gives you a little bit of an instruction.
The middle of your canvas is right here. You're going to come down about 1 inch.
Working for more than 30 years to prevent child abuse. That is what our next guests have been doing. I have here Rena Moran, a parent leader and coordinator from Prevent Child Abuse Minnesota, and Lisa Deputy, a parent leader. Thank you, ladies, for joining me today.
Thank you. Glad to be
So
here.
let's define what child abuse is.
Child abuse is the maltreatment of a child that causes harm or injury.
But it goes beyond just physical abuse, correct?
Absolutely. It could be physical. It is physical, but it's also, it could be sexual. It's neglect, and it's also emotional. And sometimes the emotional abuse is the hardest to detect.
Yeah, I was just going to say, do you think the emotional abuse is more prevalent than what we think? Because it is harder to detect?
I think it can, because it's internalized, it's something that scars the inside, and you can't see the marks on the outside or the abuse on the outside. So sometimes when kids are acting out or other things are happening, it is that internal impact of being abused, emotionally by your parents. Simply, it could be an act of, a parent threatening to leave a child behind, or maybe it's a threat that where parents are not spending time with their child,
Right.
and
Or quality time.
Quality
even.
time, absolutely, and lack of affection. Those all is a form of abuse.
What
in
about
women.
obviously the physical and the sexual abuse are terrible. How would you even begin to try to find someone or look at a child and say they're showing signs of emotional abuse? Is there something that stands out?
A lot of times when a child is being emotionally abused, they're withdrawing, tend to be very quiet. If they're school age, they tend to not do as well academically. Sometimes bedwetting, when they're at the age of a developmental age where they shouldn't be wetting the bed any longer. Things like that are signs of emotional abuse.
Is there an age group that you guys deal with, or is it from infancy to 18 when technically we become adults?
Yeah.
From infancy to 18.
Yeah, but one of the things that we do at Prevent Child Abuse Minnesota is that we don't focus on the abuse. We focus on the prevention of abuse.
Okay.
And we do that in several ways. One, we have a wonderful group that we call Circle of Parents, where we create a safe space where parents can come and gather. And a parent can be a mother, a father, a adopted parent, a foster care aunt. But it's creating those spaces where parents can come and talk with other parents about what's going on. And they have the opportunity to share whatever the stresses that may be in their life, so that they don't get to the point of abusing. And the other
So
part
they might feel like they're getting there.
Yes.
And they're seeking help.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I think the other piece is that we are building strong communities through a strength-based model and working in partnership with parents and community members.
Are these parents voluntarily contacting you for help? I mean, that would be something where I would, say I got to that point with my son, I would almost feel a sense of shame and embarrassment that I might not want to contact anybody. Are they willingly contacting you, or is there something like a teacher who's saying, hey, can you contact this person? How do you get your parents?
Well, one of the things we do is a statewide initiative. So our staff is not only here in the urban community, but in the rural communities.
Okay.
And so we also have a hotline that people can call and connect with, but we have coordinators who's out there working statewide to create these circle of parents through the partnerships they have with community members.
And that's the parent leadership?
And so, and that's just another additional part of the great work we're doing, which Lisa's a part of our parent leadership team. And I just want to talk really quickly around prevention, because that is really what we do. And so we're right now in the process of creating 5 points to really explain what we do at Prevent Child Abuse Minnesota to really educate community members around prevention. And so we have this prevention model that requires community-led actions to effect change in their own geographic area. So because we know that we cannot do this by ourselves, we need many partners, and really it takes the leadership of parents, to become empowered to feel that they can be a part of the solution of ending abuse. So the first thing that we do is we bring awareness and reorientate our communities to conditions of risk and strategies into strengths for our children. Second, we educate our communities around the science behind their neurobiology due to the overwhelming stresses, as well as how to balance the negative stress in our own lives. And then we support the communities. It's about supporting our community in order to promote healing and self-regulations, while we learn more about how to be leaders in our own community, where Lisa comes in and our other parent leaders. And then we embody and we cultivate parent leaders in our communities to plan actions that will create positive change for our children, families, and last but not least, we mentor and support our emerging leaders in applying the skills that they have just built to address issues that have been identified as critical in building thriving environments for our children and futures.
Sure.
So it's a whole process of just bringing out awareness to engaging communities to promoting parent leadership.
But each step relies on the next.
Absolutely.
And when you get parents involved in organizations and collaborating with each other and trying to make change and better outcomes for children and for families, it's a win-win. Communities win, families win, children win, organizations win. So it's a win-win.
Do you advertise? Do you put up posters in schools where parents might see them, or do you have advertising in the community?
Yeah, a lot of things that we do to try to promote for the prevention. We try to promote protective factors. And promoting these protective factors, we do what we call community or parent cafes. And what they are is a way to get parents out and begin the talking, begin conversation around the topics of abuse and neglect. And while we're promoting these protective factors, it helps to combat any risk factors that a family may have.
I would think that would be the hardest step for the parents to have that initial conversation. Do you find a lot of reluctancy from them?
Well, not so much of reluctancy. They're willing, but sometimes they won't open up until they hear someone else's story, or until then they can see that
they're not the only ones.
They're not the only ones, you know. We all have a story, you know what I mean? And to everyone's story, although may be different, there's some similarities.
Absolutely.
And so then they start to realize that I'm not in this alone, you know. And then they feel more comfortable opening up.
Go ahead.
So Lisa talks about the protective factors, but we have these conversations with what we call community cafes. Community cafes, parent cafes. And we do that in partnership with employers. We do it with funders. We do it with faith-based partners, policymakers, educational system, behavioral health providers, primary health providers. It's an array that we know that we need partners from different parts of the community to really help us to create better outcomes for our children and for our families and for our community and in the end for our state.
Right. And Lisa, you're a parent leader.
Yes.
So how did you get involved with that?
I had gotten involved with the parent leadership. I was involved in a focus group with other parents, and we used to meet twice a month. And we had found out about the parent leadership. And so I applied, put in an application, and got interviewed, and was very happy when they asked me to, be involved. I felt that there was a need for parents to be involved, because when you're making, the policies and the laws, that the legislators are making, affects us and affects our families. And so if you're making decisions for me and my family about my life, then I should be involved. I should have a voice.
Absolutely.
And so that's what parent leadership does. It helps us to lend our voice, our opinion, our thoughts, our ideas about what could be done to help promote better outcomes for families and for children in the child protection system. Yes, I am a parent. I'm also a grandparent.
Well, there you go.
Yes.
Has being a parent leader changed the way you view yourself as a parent, or the way you do parent?
Yes, it changed the way I view myself as a parent, and it also changed the way I parent.
Okay.
My son, like I said, I have grandchildren. So my son is an adult.
Sure.
Okay. And so I parent different with his children than I parent with him.
Correct.
So it gives you ideas. It gives you, it helps you learn different options of how to discipline, you know, healthy discipline.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just so many things, you know. I sit on different committees and advisory groups,
right,
you know, with lawyers and legislatives, you know, social workers, from the child protection system, from DHS. And we have it's a shared leadership.
Right.
You know.
Not one person has more say than the other.
Exactly.
It's a collective group of voices.
Exactly. Yep.
That's fantastic.
And parents are leaders. You know, we're leaders in our homes.
We are.
We're professionals.
We're trying just like everybody else.
Yes.
There's no. I said to my husband the other day, "Who wrote the book on parenting for dummies?" Because I'm waiting. Mine's 15. I'm, you know, you never stop parenting, but he's gonna be his own adult pretty soon.
Yeah. And a lot of times, the practitioners, I don't like to call them professionals, because a lot of the parents that sit on these committees and these advisory groups, they're professionals as well. So a lot of the practitioners, they look at it from a practitioner's lens.
Sure.
And I help them to look at it from a parent's lens, because a lot of them are parents themselves. And so I help them to look at it through a different lens. And looking at it through a different lens, sometimes you get a different opinion, a different idea, a different view. And so it helps to open up their minds a little broader.
I think one of in my mind, one of the great things I think we do at Prevent Child Abuse Minnesota with our parent leadership team is that we bring our parents' voices through a strength-based model.
Yes.
I think so often we look at parents who may be struggling, who may be in the system, and we see their needs, we see what they have done wrong, and we don't see that they, you know, we all hold some types of strengths. So we focus on those strengths, we work on those strengths, we help to enhance those strengths. But all our parents who are part of our team have, you know, either utilized services or services, have had challenges in their lives, have overcome those challenges, and are out doing great works in the community, but can speak from that broader perspective about how we can bring solutions to a system to better serve diverse families.
Well, and you hit the nail on the head when you said, you know, we see what they've done wrong, but everybody needs somebody to show them what they've done right, because sometimes they can't see what they've done right at that point.
Exactly.
But everybody has.
And we help them to realize, you know, to be aware of their strengths, you know, and build on your strength.
Right.
And more importantly, we have individuals or staff members from the Department of Human Services to see the strengths of parents, so that
they just need that cosign that
they are part of the solutions. They're not just a problem, but they can be part of the solution.
They can be part of the solution, absolutely.
They are.
So what are some of the ways our viewers can help? Do you guys need volunteer help? Do you need funding support? Give a shout out to whoever you need to right now.
We can always use funding.
How would they get in touch with you?
Go to www.pcamn.org.
Fantastic. Rena and Lisa, thank you so much for joining me tonight.
You.
We are all out of time. And so much more to talk about.
So quick.
Thank you again,
Thank you, Colleen.
Thank you so much for having us, Colleen.
My pleasure. That wraps it up for this edition of Girl Talk. We will see you next time.